Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is March 2nd, 2023, and Barcelona have officially announced the signing of Ronaldinho's son. Also, the club are currently considering a new option for the pivot position, and it seems that Abde is currently causing some arguments amongst the club and some division amongst the board of directors of Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. My name is Mo, and as I reported in yesterday's video, I am currently traveling. I'm actually in the city of Barcelona, where I'm gonna be watching the Barcelona versus Valencia game on Sunday. And since I am traveling, and when I'm always traveling, I always take my laptop and camera so I can continue bringing you most up-to-date news about Barcelona. And this trip is no different. So today I'm bringing you this live video with the most up-to-date news about Barcelona. So please excuse the lack of editing or any mistakes that might happen, because unfortunately I am away from all my equipment, so I can't be editing these videos. So that's why I'm bringing you this news live. Now, we begin with the news that Barcelona defeated Real Madrid today 0-1 in the Copa del Rey semi-final, and this was a huge victory for Barcelona, but nonetheless, it was still an awful performance by the team. But the important thing is that Barcelona have won the first leg of the semi-final, and now they go into the second leg of the semi-final, forcing Real Madrid to look for a win if they want to make it to the final. Now, Barcelona started with an interesting lineup with, of course, Mark ter Stegen in the goal, with Ronald Araujo on the right in the right back position, which is something that Xavi has done a lot in order to cancel out Vinicius. And as always, Ronald Araujo did a spectacular job of slowing down Vinicius and canceling that threat from the right flank. And then in a center back position, we had Jules Koundé, who I thought did a really good job winning all the air balls. And we didn't see Andreas Christensen, and it seems that he is suffering from some discomfort in his ankle. And even though he is not completely out, Xavi decided not to play him out of precaution. And I think that that was a good decision, because after all, we still have many more matches to come, and it's better to preserve the player for future matches. Now, in the place of Andreas Christensen, we had Marcos Alonso, who I thought did a spectacular job and won every single duel that he was involved in. I know Marcos Alonso gets a lot of flack from people, and he gets a lot of hate. I personally don't understand why. I think every time Marcos Alonso has played, has done a spectacular job. I think it's because he's more of a quiet player. He's not really a flashy player, so he goes under the radar. And as such, when people are looking for someone to blame, they usually look to blame someone like Marcos Alonso, which was the case with Andreas Christensen at first. I think Andreas Christensen is a very underrated defender. He's an excellent defender, probably one of the best in Europe. But because he is a quiet, reserved player who's not flashy, who's not constantly talking to the media, I think he went unnoticed for the longest time, but now people have seen that he's a great center back. I'm not saying that Marcos Alonso is as great as Andreas Christensen, but nonetheless, I think he's a very solid center back, and I quite don't understand why people always giving him a lot of crap. I think he did a spectacular job today. And then we have Alejandro Balde on the left in the left back position. But I don't think he had a good game. He was actually gone for most of the game. He didn't really have much participation. But again, Alejandro Balde is an excellent player, so there's not much to complain. Everybody ends up having matches where they're not that on their top of their form. Now, in the midfield, we had in a double pivot position Frenkie de Jong and Sergio Busquets, who I think both of them did spectacular defensive jobs, especially Sergio Busquets, who we saw that old version of him where he looked where he earned his nickname as an octopus, because he was able to stop every ball that went through him. And he did a spectacular job helping Barcelona defensively. And we also had in the midfield Gavi and Kessie. I don't really think Gavi had a good match. He made a lot of mistakes, lost the ball a lot, made a lot of fouls that were unnecessary. But again, we are talking about Gavi, one of the best midfielders in the world, so we can't really blame him for having an off match. Every player, even the best, have off matches. And in the case of Kessie, I think he had one of his better matches where he actually contributed to Barcelona's first and only goal of the match. And then in the attack, we had Rafinha and Ferran Torres, who were both absolutely absent from the match. They were completely awful. In the case of Rafinha, he lost every single dribble that he attempted. And I know a lot of people say that I give a lot of flack to Rafinha, but come on, we spent 60 million euros on this guy, and he can't even complete one single dribble. It's freaking insane. I mean, this guy couldn't dribble past. He couldn't even dribble past a light post if he tried to. He is so bad at dribbling, and all he does is send crosses to the box. And I'm sorry, even a 16-year-old player from the Barca Athletic can send crosses into a box. Spend 60 million on a guy that only sends crosses into a box is absolutely ridiculous. And I think we might have bought the only Brazilian in the world who doesn't know how to dribble, which is mind-blowing. And in case of Ferran Torres, he was also awful once again. He couldn't dribble past anyone. He completely lost the ball all the time. And overall, Barcelona had an awful match, but nonetheless, a great result. Now, I say it was a great result because obviously Barcelona arrived at this match with a lot of injured players, including Pedri, Lewandowski, and Dembele. And this was a match against a very difficult opponent, of course, that's Real Madrid, in a difficult field, which is the Santiago Bernabeu. And I was really expecting that Barcelona would lose this match. And I was saying that if Barcelona managed to get a draw, it would be a victory. But nonetheless, luck was on our side, and Barcelona was able to win this match thanks to that lucky own goal by Militao, and also thanks to the defensive effort of Barcelona, who were absolutely amazing in the defensive line. They stayed organized the entire match, and they held off attack after attack by Real Madrid, which honestly was very surprising. I've never seen Real Madrid attack so intensively. Real Madrid is usually the team that likes to hang back, that defends well, and then likes to count on counterattacks. And then usually they advance their lines and attack during the final 10 to 15 minutes of the match. But it seems that Real Madrid were very confident because they knew Barcelona had a lot of injured players, and I think they smelled blood. So they came out to the attack, and they pressed the whole entire 90 minutes, and they unleashed a barrage of attacks, which Barcelona were absolutely amazing in holding off that attack and staying organized in the back line. But again, nonetheless, this is not the Barcelona that we're accustomed for. I mean, this is a Barcelona that played like a small team, a team that parks the bus and defends with the entire team. Because as far as attack, Barcelona produced zero. There were no fast transitions. There were no kind of any plays or any triangulations or any combinations. It was an absolutely abysmal performance as far as the offense. But nonetheless, Barcelona made a great defensive effort, which allowed them to win the match by the smallest margin, which is 1-0. And hopefully the next leg, which will be in April, Barcelona will have all of their players healthy once again and will be able to mount a better performance at the Spotify Camp Nou. Because if Barcelona plays again like this, I don't think we'll be able to make the final because, again, this was a horrible performance. Barcelona played like a small team who just defended the entire time. But nonetheless, we did great. We did obtain a great result, and we were able to defeat Real Madrid with half of our stars or injured, and we did so in Real Madrid's stadium. Now, on to the news that Barcelona have officially announced the signing of Ronaldinho's son, João Mendes de Assis Moreira. Now, João Mendes is 18-year-old center forward player, and as I reported previously, he had undergone some tryout with Barcelona, which he passed. So Barcelona decided to sign him, and now the club have made the signing official. They have announced that on their website and through all their social media accounts. João Mendes is a left-footed center forward. He is described as someone who's very fast, who's very great at dribbling, and has really good capabilities of scoring goals. And he has officially signed for the under-19 youth team. So we're going to see how he does, because after all, he does have a lot of pressure on his shoulders by the simple fact of being Ronaldinho's son. Now, I personally think that this signing is a great one because of all the positive reports coming out of the player. And after all, we are signing him for free. So even if he doesn't end up working out and ends up being all of a hype, it doesn't really matter because we didn't spend any money. And if he does end up working out, then great. We just got a future star that we didn't spend any money on. So either way, it's a win-win situation, if you may. And I think these are the kind of signings that Barcelona should be betting on. Young players who have a bright future ahead of them or a great projection ahead of them that are low cost, because at the end of the day, if those players end up working out, then Barcelona end up signing stars for almost nothing. And if they don't work out, then that's okay, because again, Barcelona didn't spend a lot of money on them. Now, speaking of future players, Barcelona have identified a new option for the center for the center mid position or the pivot position. And this player is Manuel Ugarte. Now, Manuel Ugarte is a 21-year-old center midfielder who currently plays for Sporting Lisbon, and he's been having a really good season with the Portuguese team. And as a result, his agent Jorge Mendes is currently looking for a new home for his player, and he has offered him to Barcelona. Now, Barcelona are considering Manuel Ugarte as a possible option or as a possible replacement for Sergio Busquets. And they think that if Sergio Busquets extends his contract for one more season, that Manuel Ugarte could train next to Busquets and learn a lot from him and could be a possible replacement for Busquets in that pivot position. Now, does this mean that Barcelona will be signing Manuel Ugarte for sure? No, it's just one of the many options that Barcelona are currently considering. Now, in other news, it seems that Abde is causing a lot of division amongst the Barcelona board of directors. Now, as I've talked about before, Abde is currently on loan with Osasuna for the remainder of the season. He's been having a great season with Osasuna. He started out a little bit slow where he wasn't really being a starter, but for now, he has cemented himself as one of the key players for Osasuna. And as a result of this positive performance, he is causing division amongst the club, where half of the club or half of the board of directors want to sell the player because he does have a good market value around 20 to 30 million euros, which Barcelona desperately need now in their difficult financial situation, and where the other half do want to keep Abde on the first squad. Now, as I said before, if Barcelona do receive a lucrative offer for Abde, they will consider that offer and decide on selling him because, again, the club needs as much money as possible this summer because they need to lower their wage bill by 200 million euros. But there are several ways that Abde could end up staying on the squad. One of them is he will be given an opportunity during the preseason. So if Abde ends up impressing Xavi and changing his mind, that he will stay. Other ways that Abde could stay on the team is if Barcelona are unable to sign any wingers due to the financial fair play rule restrictions, so Abde could end up staying. Or if someone leaves or one of the wingers leave and Barcelona can't sign any new ones, so Abde could end up staying. But for now, again, Barcelona, if they do receive a lucrative offer, then they will consider selling him. But there are members of the board of directors who do want to keep Abde because of his impressive performance with Osasuna. Now, Osasuna are playing the semifinals of the Copa del Rey, and if they do end up making it to the finals, and Barcelona does end up making it to the final as well, then Abde will not be able to play because of that fear clause that I discussed about a few months ago, which has been inserted into his contract that says Abde cannot play against Barcelona, which I personally believe that it's ridiculous because if Barcelona loan out a player, it's because they want that player to develop. And if they're going to put clauses in that player's contract that don't allow him to play certain matches, then that defeats the whole purpose of that player going somewhere else to continue playing and developing. And also, we are talking about Barcelona, and Barcelona should not fear any player playing against them, no matter how good they are, because it is, after all, one of the biggest clubs in the entire world. Now, we will end today's video with a little silly story where after Messi won the FIFA's best, it looks like Karim Benzema did not take that news too well, and he made a post about all the things that he had won last season, including the Champions League and La Liga, kind of saying like, oh, hey, I deserved it, pretty much crying about not winning the FIFA's best. And in response, Messi posted a picture of him with the World Cup, which I think was the best response that he could have done because, come on, Karim Benzema, you're a professional, and just because you didn't win an award, there's no need for you to cry on social media. And again, Messi is right. You haven't won a World Cup like he has, and that's the biggest honor that any football player can dream of and can achieve. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel. And finally, I would love to hear from all of you. So please drop a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. I'm going to be here in the city of Barcelona until Monday. So for the remainder of the weekend, I will be posting live videos every day, bringing you the most up-to-date news. Because even though I am on vacation, Barcelona does not rest and the news does not stop. So I will be here to giving you all the most up-to-date news about our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. And as always, Visca Barça and Visca Catalunya. Have a good night.